Don't place a trade based on what you'll see in this video because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. So in this video, I want to talk about the banks and some of the banks that are happening right now in the markets and why one of the most important things to your trading is looking at those weekly charts to see what's going on. Yes, we can have a short-term rally on the daily charts, and that's important to look at. But it's also important to look at where are we in the overall picture of things in the markets and what could be happening. So for example, looking at Goldman Sachs here, okay? And if I bring up the weekly chart of Goldman Sachs, what do we see here with Goldman Sachs? We see simply what? A market that had a nice breakdown through here. We rallied back up, right? So if we're rallying back up, we could be creating what? Some sort of lower high through here. So if we go to the daily chart, you can see what happened here on the daily chart, right? Ran up, went sideways for a while, popped back up, and now we're breaking back down. Looks like we're getting ready to have, looks like the banks are getting ready to get slammed again. So that's actually that's Goldman Sachs through there. If I go to say the other one, JP Morgan. JP Morgan was another one as well too. Look at this here, right? What do we have through here with JP Morgan? We had this overall sideways phase through here. See that through there? So sideways, we broke down, we created what? This was a lower low. And now we could be expecting what? Some sort of lower high through here. And I know that's much harder to see there, but let me actually bring this up through here. Let's go to the daily chart here on the candlestick chart. You'll be able to see what I'm seeing here. And look at this here right now, right? Down, down, and now we rallied lower low. Now it's creating some sort of lower high. If I go back to the daily chart again, look at this here. Now we're getting some selling off. We're breaking below these lows through here. So the banks right now look like we're about to get some serious selling. And it looks like the banks are about to hit the lows of where they were back at the start of the year. That's JP Morgan. Goldman Sachs looks like that as well too, where we're just starting to sell off a little bit more. JP Morgan is actually looking a lot weaker than Goldman Sachs did as well too. We have Bank of America as well. And Bank of America is actually rolling back over as well too. Let's look at that weekly chart. And as you can see, right, lower low. Now it's creating a lower high and we're breaking down for the very first week. Look at all that sideways movement. Now we're breaking down and it looks like now we're about to head back down towards these lows through here on the banks. The banks are looking really, really weak where we are right now. And also Morgan Stanley is the other one that I'm looking at. Morgan Stanley has actually got a lot different pattern. It's just very, very, very weak. So it's not same there. And I'll have a look at Deutsche Bank as well too. I know Ray Dalio has been shorting the crap out of this pretty much ever since the start of 2018, he's been shorting the crap out of this. So look at this here, sideways movement, trending down, sideways movement, down, sideways. So it looks like Deutsche Bank is getting ready to get hammered again. This thing's going to zero. So anyway, guys, this is what's happening right now on the banks. But I just wanted to do this video for you to share with you that not only to share what's happening to the banks right now, but one of the most important things to do is that when you're looking at this here, and I bring up JP Morgan as an example, and let me remove this here, right? As you can see, right, that if this overall longer term chart starts to shift from a low, then a lower low, we could be creating some sort of lower high. Even though if I go back to my daily chart, even though we're getting some sort of short-term stepping up moving on the daily chart, if that weekly chart, if that bigger picture chart is creating that lower low, lower high, then this could be short-lived right now. So you got to ask yourself, what other markets are doing this right now, and and so on and so forth. So always keep an eye on that bigger picture. If you trade the daily chart, always keep an eye on that weekly chart, because that weekly chart is definitely a lot more of an indicator of what could possibly happen. Now the daily charts are short term, but the weekly charts are a bit more of a longer term. Hey traders, I'm running a flash sale. It's a $7 flash sale to my brand new Go to the Markets by the Bullish trading course. If you go to johnsflashsale.com, you can get access to the $7 massive sale that I'm doing right now for a short time. So go to johnsflashsale.com and I'll see you over there.